Hello and welcome to Taka Otaku's 2000 AD lineup. This week, Prog 1945. After the napalm attack in last week's Dredd, Judge Dredd is left burnt, bruised and alone. We get to see the origins of the ice monsters that are attacking Megacity 1 as the team on Enceladus get closer to its source and closer to solving the problem. This looks like it's going to be climactic, ending with Dredd getting on a horse! I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm sure we'll learn next week. This week's Alienist, we get to see more of how Madeline operates and the way that she's going to protect these people in this horrible, horrible house. We get to see more of the attitude and the tone that this series is beginning to form, and I'm personally quite excited to see where this goes. Next is one of Tharg's thrillers, except with a 3 instead of a T, because that's sensible. And yeah, this one looks like it's going to be alright, potentially. I personally think it looks like it's shaping up to be Predator with slight supernatural elements in a modern setting. But who knows, this might get good. The 3-chapter arc style I honestly prefer to Future Shocks. I think it gives them a bit more room to work with, and this needs more room to work with. Next we have Grey Area. I'm very pleased to see this return because I felt like the last arc they had didn't really end properly. It felt like it just kind of was things happening. And although I'm pleased with the outcome of the last arc, I feel like it should have continued into what they're doing now. I'm very pleased to see it back. I'm very pleased to see the team around, and I'm glad to see that they are actually beginning to get through to the Harmonious 3, and maybe they'll sort everything out. But I'm hoping that this one doesn't end on another non-ending. I really want to see this come to fruition because I think it's very good and very interesting, especially considering where the series' roots are. Hopefully, it'll carry on being good. Finally, speaking of non-endings, Helium has a non-ending. After all the build-up that they were going to, trying to bring some actual significance to the character and to the world, and building up all these different forces, it just continues the chase from last week, and then ends out of nowhere. Helium will be back, and sure, I'm looking forward to that. But why can't you do endings? I mean, yes, I want more, but that doesn't feel like it would fill a trade paperback. And that generally is how I judge a lot of these. Is it a self-contained story? If it isn't a self-contained story, then continue it, for God's sake. And honestly, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you. But I'm still looking forward to the next bit, because the Frill Center always seems to please me, no matter what. In conclusion, I think that this prog is alright. It's not the best, by any stretch of the imagination, but it is good. The prog is carried by Dredd, the Alienist, and Grey Area. And normally I would be very pleased with Helium, but it's not an ending, guys. It really isn't. But yeah, it's a good prog, and by all means get it. It is still the galaxy's greatest comic, but this it feels like there's 2 strips that could have just been better. But then again, Alienist is good, Dredd is good, and the Grey Area is back. And that's also good. Shout out to Dan Abnett, because he's amazing. He's most of what the decent Warhammer literature is written by. And he does very good work for 2000 AD. And seeing more of him, once again, always good thing to see.